Well, here we're looking at Costco on the daily, and I wanted to kind of just show the retracement from the last major swing. I think that really sometimes puts things, sheds a good light on things and gives you good perspective of what's going on here, the strength. Normally, for those that sometimes it's difficult in this in what I do here because there's all kinds of levels of people that pay attention to our videos here of all types of expertise and backgrounds. I don't mean any disrespect when I kind of sometimes go to the basics, and sometimes maybe sometimes to some maybe stay in the basics a little too much. I don't want to lose too many people here with some of what we do. That's why I'm going to start some seminars here. I want to get everybody up to certain to share some more interesting things that I think could really help people's trading. Anyway, here on the most basic premise is the gist here is the what you're really looking at with these retracements is, for the most part, prices should hold the 50% retracement level. Now, with Elliott Wave, a lot of times they have a norm that they do the retracement. We've talked about that. But just from a fundamental standpoint, just think of it in kind of a very simple terms. When you have a very big move, a stronger move, of course, would have a shorter retracement because it doesn't need much. The sellers, there are not too many of them, and there's more buyers than sellers. So you'll have a big extended type of move and a continuation because it doesn't really want to come back too much. So those can a lot of times, even though they're strong, they could start to fail, as that is the fifth wave move, as people try to come in at the end move, and that's where watching the momentum in that it can be helpful. But a lot of times what you're looking for is the balance between this 50%. It should technically hold that. Now, that doesn't mean that you can't go to the 61% retracement and still be a very strong move, or even to the 78% retracement, because a lot of times in a two wave, it does go that deep. But a lot of times you kind of think is the norm, or you try to kind of think of, is usually around the 50% it should try to hold. And so here we could see it holding the 61. Doesn't show that, it doesn't mean it's weak and it won't go to a new high, but you have to say, well, you know what? It seems like it's going through a deep correction. It starts to try to rally back, and then you see it just come back under this moving average. So it kind of gives you a little bit of a hint that, hey, it's showing some weakness, and it very likely needs to retest. And once you see the break of the 50, you know that should be the case here. And now what do we have? We have prices trying to come back, but still having a little bit of tough time. Where is it really holding? It's holding at this 61% retracement where we had the prior bottom here. So just kind of looking at it from that aspect may be helpful to you. Try not to get too caught up into it, but a lot of times what you're trying to do is it can give you an idea sometimes of the health of the actual move in the price action, and what it really has to do to continue in the direction you think it should.